I came to UMass in 2003, and I rotated through a couple different labs before I found the Stern lab. And I liked the mix of biochemistry and structural biology that they did in this lab.
I've known Corey since her first year in graduate school. She joined the lab after rotating in some other labs, and she's been working here on her thesis since then.
I was on the schedule to graduate in June. In fact, there was an empty chair at the commencement where I was supposed to be sitting, but I was recovering from my second surgery in 2 weeks at that point.
Corey's in the very end of her PhD. She was actually just about to defend her thesis when she was first diagnosed.
I had a couple kids through grad school, which was an adventure in itself.
Raising kids, playing house.
My 5-year-old is Charlie, and my 3-year-old is Madeline. And then I have a 14-year-old stepson as well, Robbie.
Riding high and living free.
I met my now husband, Ted Painter, and we met skydiving. We both worked at a skydiving drop zone out in Northampton, Mass, packing parachutes. And it was, just fun and a good time, and I went on this road trip. After the road trip, I moved in with him, and it's been love ever since.
As that summer came to a close, it'd soon be time to go. You wake one day, forever changed.
I found a lump in my breast back in March of this year, 2010. And I had a number of different doctors poke and prod and look and mammogram and sonogram and tell me time and time again that it was nothing over the course of about a month. And I had one doctor here at UMass, Dr. Quinlan, who decided that maybe it's not nothing. And so he did a fine needle aspiration in April. And the cytology report came back suggesting that it was probably a benign condition, but there was the chance that it was this extremely rare malignancy called Angiosarcoma. When I got the diagnosis, I was actually driving the car, and my husband was in the car with me. And we were in a parking lot. And I was so shocked that I almost ran a student over at WPI. And I pulled the car over, gave the phone to my husband, and just lost it completely.
Cried and cried.
Just need a second. My first thoughts, of course, were with my family, and I don't know, trying to leave a legacy for them. I had the sneaky suspicion that it was angiosarcoma, and being in the field that I'm in, I had done the research, and I knew that the statistics were horrible. There's only about 300 people a year that get this diagnosis. For the first 3 days after the diagnosis, it was as though time kind of stood still.
This old heart just keeps breaking. When I look into your eyes, I see the best years of my life.
And then, my husband and I kind of pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps and realized that, nobody's guaranteed any specific amount of time, but we are able to do very unique things with whatever time we do have. And we decided that we were going to fight this.
It's extraordinarily gutsy. There's no pity, no self-pity. There's this attitude of, if this cancer is going to get me, I'm going to make sure that I get it, whether that happens during my lifetime or after my lifetime.
Corey's really a remarkable person. It's been very difficult for her, as it is, I think, for everyone with a cancer diagnosis.
One could very easily have sort of thrown up their hands in her position and said, well, look, and nobody knows what to do for this, and and just give up. But she's not giving up. She's using every ounce of what she's got to try to make an impact, and that is, I think, inspiring to everybody who's gotten to know her.
Couldn't ask for anything better than the way I've been treated here, both by Larry and by the biochemistry department and by the medical school and Dr. Flott, everybody else that's involved, and Chancellor Collins, and it's just been amazing. You know, everybody has rallied behind me and tried to support me emotionally and financially and in any other way that they could, scientifically.
When you get a cancer diagnosis, your life is completely redefined.
Being able to talk at the cancer walk really opened up a lot of doors for me in terms of trying to get people to become aware of angiosarcoma and become aware of my mission of getting this research funded for angiosarcoma.
I'm an incredibly rare, incredibly aggressive cancer that starts in the lining of your blood vessels.
The 50c3 nonprofit charity that we started is called Angiosarcoma Awareness Incorporated, and our main mission is to get lots of money and to direct it to the correct labs in order to do research. And so we want to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars and solicit grants from different scientists who are studying angiosarcoma, decide which one of them have the best and most novel approaches to understanding the disease and or treating it, and then give them the money and see what they can come up with. We've raised $40,000 in just over 2 months, which I think is a good start. Right now I'm considered NED, which is no evidence of disease, which is fabulous. But the unfortunate fact with this disease is that only about 10 to 30% of people stay that way. So the vast majority of people within 5 years are gone because it comes back, and it comes back very aggressively. I would say just within the last month or so, I've really been able to get back into the actual science of things and start writing properly and doing the things I need to do to finish up. And I would say I'm probably within a week or two of submitting my final paper, and thereafter I'll probably take a month or two to write my thesis, and then I can be done. My number one goal is to stay here as long as I can and raise my family. It would be nice to graduate at some point. It would be great to start a postdoc. I would love to see our corporation take off and get properly funded and see the research get done. My minor goals are growing back my hair, which I've started, already. Thank you. As far as the cancer goes, what cancer?